and let's just get ready to say yes. So just join me, if you will, close your eyes and settle back. And, if you haven't taken a deep breath this week, then do like Reverend Barb always instructs us and just take 3 right now. Just fill your lungs with that beautiful air. If you're in Colorado, especially in northern Colorado this morning, then maybe it's not so beautiful because we're experiencing a lot of fires. But let's just know, let's go within and know that even in the midst of those fires, because everywhere, it is everywhere presence, God is all there is. And so God is right there in the midst of these fires. God is the center, the circumference. God is the beginning, the end. God is the I am that. Because it is all and all in all. I'm so grateful that we come together this morning because we are the power and the presence of God on earth. And so when we join forces together, we join in that power and that presence. And that just delights my cells. Every cell, fiber, tissue, and atom of my being delights in knowing that our energy is coming together in this moment. And what power there is in that, what love there is in that. Because I know that each person joining in this service at this moment or at any other time contributes to the love, to all of the love that there is in life. And so it just gives me great joy to know that because we bring our consciousness, because we speak our word, because we come together in this love, that love expands to encompass the entire planet. It expands out into the universe and just reverberates. It reverberates love throughout all time, all space, all beingness and beyond. So I know that this service is blessed. I know that this time is blessed. I know that each one of us participating in this service is blessed because we are the beloved children. We are the beloved children of that divine force, that divine energy, that divine presence that we know to be all good. And so giving thanks for this time together and for the knowing that all is well. Please declare with me. And so it is. Amen.
Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who will travel there. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who will build it there. And we shall build it there. Come, let us build a way for all mankind, a way to leave these evil years behind, to travel onward to a better year, where love is and there will be no fear, where love is and no fear. Oh, comrades, come and travel on with me. We'll go to our new year of liberty. come walk upright along a people's way. From darkness unto the sunlit day, from dark to sunlit day. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and hate and greed shall never travel there, but only those who learn a peaceful way of unity to greet the coming day, to greet the coming day. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who travel there. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who build it there, and we will build it there.
Thank you, Judy. Great song, great song. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, lovely people. Before I get into my talk, some of you have received email requests from me, Zoom meeting requests, and if you haven't received one, you will. My intention is to connect with every single person who is a part of this congregation one-on-one. Since I can't connect with you physically on Sundays and in classes, this is the next best thing. And I have just so enjoyed our conversations and connections that we've made. And so just thank you. I feel such gratitude in my heart for the opportunity to do that with each of you. So let's begin by let's just take another 3 deep breaths. And repeat with me. Let's say together: care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So if you're following along in our CSL journal, the topic was colorblind or colorful. I changed the title just slightly to colorblind or color conscious. If someone is colorblind, they don't see color in the same way that those of us who are not colorblind see color. They see fewer colors. In fact, normal color vision, believe it or not, we see 1 million shades of color. For those who are colorblind, they see as few as 10,000. And so they don't quite see the world in the same way because of that, and it's something that they're born with, so they learn to adapt. But it is a deficiency in how they see color. And so they learn how to adapt in life. But this term colorblind, if we think about it in terms of skin color, and we refer to someone as colorblind, in this context, it also means a deficiency in how we see color. The difference, however, is that the person isn't born with it. They learn this. Years ago, I remember being in a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about people of color. And I remember saying so proudly, I don't see color. Somewhere along my spiritual path, I learned that it was better not to see color. And I thought as a spiritual person that was a good thing, because it meant that I was seeing us all as one, that it wasn't the color of our skin that mattered, but it was what was inside of us that mattered. And yes, take away the color of our skin, take away our outside characteristics. We are all connected to that divine essence of God that is within us. But what I'm going to talk about today is our differences and how to move from being colorblind to being color conscious. Think about your life for a moment and the people that you surround yourself with. We often feel more connected to those who are just like us, those who think similarly to how we think, those who have similar values, have similar beliefs, maybe even the same spiritual practices or similar spiritual practices. It's human nature, it's how we're wired to feel more connected and safer with those who are just like us. We all learn at an early age to judge. And it's not necessarily because what our parents have taught us. In fact, if our parents saw us staring at somebody, they might say, it's not polite to stare, or it's not nice to judge. And yet, we all heard these messages, and we still judged. We judged those who dressed differently than us, those who talked differently, those who behaved differently. We even may have made fun of those who were different than we were. This is how cliques get formed, particularly in high school. Yeah, you remember high school? Yeah, these cliques were formed because people felt more comfortable with people just like them. But the problem with that is that those who are not like them are on the outside. And we judge those who are on the outside, those who are different than we are. High school for me was probably one of the most painful times as a child, as a kid. I was quiet, I was shy, I was a bit of a loner. I felt totally out of place. So much so that during lunchtime, I would often go into the women's bathroom and I would hide out in the stall and I would remain there for the whole lunch period so that people wouldn't see me wandering around school and label me as a loner. Boys were nice to me, but girls were mean. They assumed that I was stuck up because I was shy and I was quiet, and they had no problem telling me that. So I made friends with my teachers. I felt more safe with them. They didn't judge me. They accepted me for who I was. They understood me. All I wanted was to be accepted and to be seen for who I was. I wasn't stuck up. I was just insecure, and I didn't know how to connect with people. All of us deep down just want to be connected, just want to feel and be seen, and to be honored and accepted for who we are. Yes, we are each individualized expressions of God, imbued with these beautiful qualities of the divine. We all have that in common. But we are each different in so many glorious ways. How we dress, the color of our skin, our race, our sexual orientation, our gender preferences, how we talk, how we express ourselves, our talents, our gifts, our religious practices, and the lens through which we see the world. It's different for each of us. These are all beautiful ways that God expresses as us. God didn't say, I want to create a world where everybody is the same, where everybody holds the same beliefs and practices and attitudes. God said, go forth and multiply, and I will be by your side. The Creator has intentionally created each person to be a unique expression in the world. In spiritual circles, we talk a lot about oneness. We say that we are one, that we embrace all beings, that we are part of one human family. It's easy to accept those, however, who are just like us, those who have the same beliefs and practices and hold the same worldview as we do. But notice Notice where your acceptance is a bit halted, where you tolerate someone, but don't fully accept that person or that group of people. There's a difference between tolerating and accepting. Notice where you have some blocks around accepting all beings. Race and the color of one's skin may not be a trigger for you. But what about sexual orientation? What about someone who is gay or lesbian or someone who is transgender? Or what about those who hold different religious beliefs than yours? Who do you have a hard time completely opening your heart to? Who do you find yourself immediately in judgment about? There are those we tolerate, and there are those that we accept. There's a big difference between the two. Tracy Brown, a practitioner and well-known leader in our movement on the topic of diversity and inclusion, wrote our daily guides this month in Science of Mind magazine. And she wrote a beautiful passage about tolerance and acceptance. Can you imagine spirit just tolerating anything or anyone? Can you imagine spirit looking at its own creation and encouraging us to simply tolerate it? Can you imagine spirit creating itself into different kinds of people to be ignored, judged, or just tolerated? What kind of thinking is required to lead us into an attitude of tolerance instead of an attitude of love, acceptance, unity, or harmony? For me, to tolerate you instead of love you, I might be thinking of you as irritating or inferior. For me to tolerate you instead of accepting you, I might be perceiving you as threatening or subordinate. For me to tolerate you instead of being in unity with you, I might be imagining you as being unworthy or intimidating. For me to tolerate you instead of creating harmony with you, I might be holding you as dangerous or superior. If I want to live in a world where love, acceptance, unity, and harmony are the norm, then I must recognize what is going on inside of me. When I feel uncomfortable with others, I must look inside and locate the cause. I refuse to stop at tolerating others. I refuse to miss out on the experience of loving humanity. If we want to be color conscious, we need to look at our own biases and our own judgments and our own prejudices and do the work to shift our consciousness, to open our heart, so that when we come into contact with someone who is different than we are, we can see their beauty, no matter how different they are from us. If we want to create a world that works for everyone, we need to look at the areas where we are tolerant versus loving and embracing. If we want to be color conscious, then this is the work that we must do. Being colorblind is a dangerous thing, because just like only seeing 10,000 colors instead of 1,000,000, our view is limited. And we end up putting people in a box, making up stories about who they are and where they came from and why they do the things they do, just like the girls did when I was in high school about me. And it doesn't feel very good. Instead of honoring the person fully for who they are and seeing them fully for who they are, all that they are. Tracy Brown said this: "We are all human, but we are not the same. The challenge isn't that we are different. The challenge is we have created and continue to perpetuate false stories about what the differences mean." Have you ever in your life felt dismissed, ignored, and not fully seen for who you are? I suspect every single one of us have experienced that. It might have been back in high school like me, or other times in your life. It's painful. There are people on this planet right now who have never felt seen in their entire life because of the color of their skin, because of their religious beliefs and practices, because of their disability, because of their sexual orientation. Imagine feeling that way on a regular basis, living in the shadows of the rest of the world. If we're lucky, all of us have had at least one person in our life who really understood us, who accepted us completely unconditionally. Such a gift these people are to our souls. They see us. They don't try to change us. They don't try to make us into something we're not. They just love us exactly for who we are. We can make that choice right now. Every single one of us can make that choice right now for others, for everyone who comes into our life. We can be color conscious rather than color blind, and be actively curious about each other's differences, discovering what makes each of us this beautiful portrait. Sometimes spirituality can be harmful. We learn principles like we are one, and then we focus on that spiritual connection, which, yes, is beautiful. But that same principle can cause us to say things like, I don't see color, which completely invalidates people's identities. Someone's race and color is part of their identity, and it's important that we acknowledge that. Being color conscious allows us to see and notice the beauty in the different religious practices that people have, even if they're different from our own. It allows us to appreciate someone's sexual orientation or gender preference. It allows us to appreciate the beauty in someone who's disabled, even if they use devices such as crutches or a wheelchair in order to move through the world. If we are color conscious, we are awake, we are aware, we are curious about the differences in others. There isn't judgment or the temptation to make up stories about who these people are. We can see the entire person, not just one aspect of them. We tend to be more comfortable with people who are just like us. But in order to be color conscious, we need to be willing to open our hearts to those who are different than we are. Each person has a gift. Let's be curious about others without judgment. Let us be color conscious and not only notice the differences, but truly honor the differences. All of us just want to be seen, truly seen for all that we are. So I want you right now to just take in the words. We're going to repeat some words together. I want you to first bring into your heart, into your mind, our beautiful Black brothers and sisters. And I want you to say out loud, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all of our Asian brothers and sisters, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all of our Native American and Indigenous brothers and sisters, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To people of every race and color and culture, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all Muslims, to all Jews, to all Hindus, to all Buddhists, to all Christians, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all those who identify as gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary, or queer, I see you. I honor you. I love you. To all those who are disabled, whether physically, intellectually, those who are experiencing mental illness or chronic illness, I see you. I honor you. I love you. So just taking a breath, taking in these words that we have just expressed. So as you go out into the rest of your day and into the rest of your week, with every person that you come into contact with, whether it's somebody you see on your computer screen or somebody on your television screen, someone you pass by in the grocery store or on the street, say to yourself as you look at them, I see you. I honor you. I love you. Creating a world that works for everyone begins with each of us. Let's practice truly seeing each other and honoring each other and loving each other. That's how we move from being colorblind to color conscious. Let's pray. And so in this grace-filled moment, this moment of love and honoring, we just declare right here, right now, that there is something shifting on this planet, that there is a movement from being colorblind to color conscious as we raise our consciousness, as we begin to shift and notice and become more aware of our biases, of those places in us where we are tolerant versus accepting. I am knowing that each of us are having breakthroughs in this, that we are having new insights, that we are opening our heart even more. For as we do that, we create a world that works for everyone. As we shift our own consciousness individually, it impacts the collective. And so for that, I am so grateful for this opportunity to be here right now at this time, for we were made for this time. And I am knowing that we are doing the work that is needed and that is necessary to honor and embrace and love every single person on this planet. And so we feel that gratitude in our heart and we let this go and we allow it to be, declaring it to be so right here, right now. And we affirm it and we ground it in together by saying, and so it is.